Yeah, so you're not wanting to do it on a scattergun approach. You're wanting to make it, but if that didn't work for them, then maybe the exact same issues will be in their competitor. So you've got to understand, why didn't it work? Was it because it was one of those companies that already had their buying process in place? You're just going to be column fodder. You're just going to be picked on price. Again, rather find those companies that are more entrepreneurial, that are more in a state of flux. That where the owner is the decision maker, or the people are making rapid decisions, they allow for rapid change in their companies. So it's often not your biggest ones. Your biggest ones, yes, might give you the one big fish that you need, but often it's your tier 2 companies that are wanting to become tier 1 because they're more aggressive, they're more competitive, they're more willing to change and be innovative. Often the very big companies have become quite staid. So you're wanting to pick the innovators, and as you said, going through the supermarket and picking those people that are already doing new things and that might now want to be doing a line extension or maximizing the return, okay? So it's companies that are in a state of flux, they're emerging, that they've got an entrepreneurial culture, and often you'll find that out by just talking to people, going on their website, seeing the kinds of wording that they use. Are they in the press? What does their LinkedIn say about them? Okay, and then their transparency, their willingness to share pain in a meeting. How did that meeting go? How did it go on the phone with them? Or were they very closed? Are they open? If they're very closed, they're going to be a very, very hard nut to crack.
Especially because they don't believe, if they're closed, they're not believing in what you're selling in the first place.
Yes. So for example, I went to a meeting with, as I said, that food company where the man was incredibly arrogant, and he's seen it all before. He's seen all the people come through the door, and I was really on a back foot when that meeting started, and he sat there with his body language like this, and he said, okay, what do you have to tell me? You've got through the door now, you must have impressed my secretary. Which is exactly what I said to you on the phone, that I managed to get her on board by showing her what I could do. And then just by me being able to demonstrate to him some case studies, he started to open up, and he started to say, okay, you do something that I've never seen anyone else do. Yes, we've got processes, but I've never seen it done like this. And then only by the end of the meeting, he started telling me all of his problems. Okay, I've got this issue, I've got that issue, I've got the next issue. But he wouldn't have told me that in the beginning, and he wouldn't have told me that until I'd been able to establish trust with him. And if he had carried on that by the end of the meeting he wasn't showing me what his issues were, then I would have known that that was a closed door, I mustn't go back.
Yeah, okay.
But obviously what you're trying to do, often people will start off closed before they trust you, but what you're wanting to see is, so you're wanting to ideally work with people that are in the beginning more transparent, more open to change, more willing to learn, because then they'll want to learn from you. Then they'll value what you have to offer them. Not people who feel like they know it all, they've been there, they've done that, because yes, you might eventually crack them, but it's hard.
Yeah, so maybe
you'll get 3 of the other people whilst it takes you the time to get that one.
Yeah, that's true. So that's probably like part of this exercise of prioritizing. So the not urgent people, but the important people so you kind of put them on the back burner and give them attention when you can.
Yeah.
But so those might be the more stagnant companies.
Yes.
But so you focus on your like you said, the companies in a state of flux. That are open to you first.
That have an emerging and urgent need.
Yeah, put your energy there. And if you have extra time, go to the other companies and say, okay, well, let's try and see what we can get here. And if they don't give you like an immediate response, just okay, well, okay, we'll get back to you later. Try that again later, but not now.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. And then you don't get discouraged and you don't get despondent because you're getting some wins in other places.
So what happens if you go to a company, like for instance, I went to Darling Cellars. It was like one of the very first companies I went to see when I was still just focusing on wine. And there, I spoke to their marketing manager, and he was very excited about what I offered them. And he was like, okay, he's going to discuss it with this and that person, or he'll get back to me. So I know that there was interest, and he's like, okay, we can maybe do this, we can maybe do that. But I didn't hear from him again. So do you go see that person again? It's like, hey, how are you doing? Or
okay, it comes back to, was he the decision maker?
Probably not.
And so therefore, I think what you could do is do exactly what we spoke about before. go back to him, say, I'd like another meeting, and in that meeting say, you seemed very, very excited last time, it hasn't moved forward, what is the obstacle in your way? Who else needs to be involved in the decision?
Okay.
Could you introduce me to that person? So the quicker you can get, and now that you know to ask that, you're not going to waste your time meeting with that person if they're not the decision maker in the first place. You're going to get to the right person first time round.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.